What's up guys, Jake from Sanctum Squad here today, and today we've got our friend Ahmed bringing you a Crusadia combo deck profile featuring some new Nemesis monsters from Eternity Code. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. We're actually going to show you the deck profile, and then the combo video is going to be in a separate video, and that will be linked to Jamie the Kid 00's channel. I'm sure some of you might have heard of him. He's quite a popular name in the Yu-Gi-Oh community, especially for the UK. And this is a pretty big opportunity for us to be able to do something like this so early. So we'll just pass it over to Ahmed to do the deck profile.
Yeah, I want to give a shout out before the profile starts to Jake and Jamie. They've been jumping in and out helping me with this list. This is going first list, you can play this going second, but I'll just get straight into it and I'll just explain the details as we go in. Okay, so we play 3 Maximus. This one it's basically gets a lot of damage in. It targets a Crusadia link monster you control, and that link monster can do double damage over your opponent's monsters for the turn. You basically want to like max out as much as possible on the Crusadia monsters. So you've got 3 Arboria. This one's like probably the best one, and you'll see why in the combo video on Jamie's profile. This one is the tuner, so it helps with, unfortunately, we do play needle fiber, but you can actually do like, there's loads of combos without like the needle fiber, so it's like fine. So yeah, we max out on all of the Crusadias. So you play 3 of the best one for going second. This Reclusia, it can like pop your opponent's monster. It pairs well, or any card actually. See, when this is special summoned to a link monster zone, you can target a Crusadia card you control or monster, and one card your opponent controls, and pop them both. But if you have this in your grave, you can banish this to protect, well, this just banishes to protect any destruction on any Crusadia monster, so it works really well. And then finally we play 2 Draco. The reason why we play 2 Draco is because you don't really want to draw this, because this is crucial to like your combo pieces with like your Guardragon stuff. I guess you can max out on this if you want, but if you open it, you're not really gonna like advance forward, and like if this is the only one you open, it's going to be quite annoying because you can only go a certain extent. Like let's say your Magius gets like negated or something, and like you can't really search the other one, but it is still really good. You can max it out, but I preferred playing 2 for this list.
It's like the best one, but it's like not the one that you want to open with in that sort of sense.
Yeah. And I cannot sweep cards up to save my life there. And then we actually don't play the level 3 Crusadia, but we play this Crusadia, because this is actually a Crusadia, because it's if you're not familiar with this card, you can just reveal any card in the extra deck and it just basically copies it. So Magius is a link 1, and you can just reveal any other non-Magius Crusadia link monster, and then this can basically go into Magius. So it's like an extra name in a sense, but the reason why this is so crucial, and this is really good, is because when it's linked off, it can search you Exceed, and Exceed is just like a free rank 4, but with this deck, if you open this without this, you can just special summon this underneath the Magius when you make it, and then you can trigger the Magius like as Chain Link 1 or Chain Link 2, and you can hide it in the chain. Like this is just really, I wouldn't say it's broken, I just think it's a really good card. It's just extra advantage. It becomes level 4, and you'll see why that's important later on.
I feel like every deck I built recently is experimenting with Power Elixir.
Yeah, it's like just the rank 4 play is just really good. Like Dweller is one of the most broken cards in the game. So you can just make you that for free. And now this is the reason why I play this deck, because I have been testing any deck. So I started off playing Thunder with this. Like these are the new cards. So I'll explain what they do first. One's a light dragon, one's a dark worm, and they're like big boss monsters with a really broken effect. So this they both have the same effect, but one's to do with types, one's to do with attributes. So they both have like the BLS effect, where they can banish cards either you control or in your graveyard of the same type, different types for the dragon and different attributes for the worm one. And you banish 3, so like 3 different types, 3 different attributes. And what you do is you can declare a type for this one. It has to be on the board because it's just how it works, the mechanic. And then you need an attribute declared for this one. And what you do is you destroy all those declared monsters of the same type and attribute, and neither player can summon monsters with that type or attribute, whichever one you declared, until the end of your opponent's turn, I believe. Which is just insane at the moment, because like you got Adamant's Payer, which are just earth and rock, So you can, both of them are relevant, so you can declare like rock with this or earth with this. You can shut them off. You've got like the needle fiber combo into like loads of tokens, so you can declare like wind with this to shut them out of their tokens, or light with this to shut them out of their golden lord, and then you've got this to shut them out of machines, zombies. Like if Orcus becomes broken again, because I think it's just good at the moment. Like these are just powerhouses against them, and the best part about it is they both can't be destroyed by card effects. So if you have this one alone on the field, you can just declare dark and it just won't pop itself, and it doesn't have to resolve because the conjunction is also. So it's a bit like Borrel Sword, but it doesn't have to turn the thing to defense to actually resolve the effect. So these are just absolutely broken. The reason why we played 2 is because we can actually search them, which you'll probably see in the combo video. And then you play like loads of little one-offs. So we play this at the moment because it's like the best thing to get off Needle Fiber. As I said, we don't actually need to play Needle Fiber, but we may as well take advantage for the time being. We don't actually do any like excessive broken stuff like any of the other decks that use Needle Fiber do, which seems a bit wasted. But what I want to try and like push forward in like this video is to show that this deck is still good without using Needle Fiber for stupid stuff. We play another card that I think should be gone because this just locks out your opponent from the extra deck, and like pretty much every deck uses the extra deck now. Well, to compete, I think you have to use the extra deck. Like I guess like Subterra and stuff like that don't use the extra deck as often, but I guess you just play accordingly to the matchup. You play the one Kaiju, and you'll see why we play this in a second, because if you haven't read this card, this thing actually does everything that you need. It's just filthy. Like it's a not once per turn negate, and you can just gain multiple negates during the turn if you play it correctly. So this reads that you can, if your opponent activates a card or effect, you can remove 2 Kaiju counters anywhere on the field, and you'll see where you get the Kaiju counters in a second, to basically negate the activation and banish that card. And you might be thinking, oh, that's broken, it banishes the card. And like when Konami were making this card, if it's destroyed and sent it to the graveyard, it would be ridiculous because the Kaiju
feed the counters itself.
Yeah. So we play Waterfront, and it gets a counter for every time something's sent to the graveyard from the field. So if this kept destroying and sending to the graveyard, then you're just gonna have unlimited negates basically as a 3k body. And I believe it's not once per chain, so you can literally negate multiple things on the same chain, which is just disgusting. And you're not going to get over this because you special it in defense. And if you hard draw it, like it is a Kaiju, so let's say you're going second, you can just Kaiju the Borrel Savage and it gets rid of their Buster, Dragon Buster. So like it's still a Kaiju in your main deck, so it's pretty good. Not that you, like this is built for going first anyway, but yeah. And you play this because this is how you search the Archnemesis stuff. This card's always been broken. I love this card to bits. It comes back from your grave and from your you can special summon from your grave or your hand as like extra protection, extra search. So yeah, this is really good.
It's also like a soft garnet as well because you usually summon it off the Elpy, correct?
Yes.
And then Elpy can summon from the deck or the hand either. So when you draw the Brotaur, it's not the end of the world.
Yeah. It's like this is like the fact I was playing a game online the other day and I kept opening this, and it's a one of, and he thought I was playing 3 of it. It was just unfortunate, but you can still make this live all the time. Like you just crash into something, you can make it live. There's so many ways you can make it live, but I'm going to leave that there for a second, just because when I talk about the hand trap, we play 10 hand traps. So we play 2 Ash, 2 Veiler, 3 Nib, and then play 3 Imperms. If you're going first, it's fine because like you can set this going first, and it's just really good. The reason why I play multiple Veilers is because there's a lot of things in the format that need to just be stopped that's on the board. These are once per turn. The reason why I'm not playing 3 Ash is because if you draw multiple, you can only use 1. I guess it's still good, but I think these are just better cards. And like if you do end up going second, this stops the All Calamities play. 3 of this is because you just need to see it. I think it's really good. The reason why I mentioned this is like you can play Phantasme and like you can search it to help draw into stuff. So I think that's something that I would probably consider trying out, just playing Phantasme as an extra hand trap. So that if you do open this, if they pop a monster or something, you can special summon this, search the Phantasme, and if they make link plays later on, or it just makes them think twice about whether they want to link off into something else, and it can draw you into extra stuff like more combo plays for your next turn. So that's why the hand trap lineup is like a bit flexible based on what you think is right for the meta. I think right now this is pretty good. 10 hand traps is like a really good number. So if you're forced to go second, you have some sort of way of stopping your opponent. You can also side more if you know you're going second, and you can make it up to that 14 or 15 number. But yeah, these are probably the best in my opinion for blowouts with the current meta. Okay, so for spells, we play a very small lineup. So we play the 4 Waterfronts. So this is the card that actually gets you to the Gameciel. So your combo is always gonna send 5 cards from field to grave, at least. And you only need 3 to search this. So this, when it's on 3 counters, you can search a Kaiju from your deck. So you get to search this, and you get to special summon it later. And it can only have a max of 5, but you will get it on 5 before, so you have at least 2 negates. But if you play it correctly, you can make them like send stuff to grave. So let's say they activate their own Terraforming or something as a second card. You can negate the first card and then let the Terraforming go through, for example, and then you get the counter back. So there's always ways where you can actually get counters back on this. And like the cool thing about this is when you get this on your field, that you can't get Kaiju to yourself. And I feel like Kaijus are popular in some cases at the moment, in some people's side decks. And like if you have this on your board, you're not going to get Kaiju because you can't. So yeah, this package is really crucial to this going first variant. And then we only play an extra 3 cards to make it 40. And some of the most broken cards in the game, because they're all at 1. This just reborn something back. You want to just get multiple cards in the field. You want to just try like push for as much link plays as possible. 1 for 1 lets you get your Formud Skipper or your Brotaur from the deck. That's why I think this is crucial. It's like doing the Crusadia combo without your normal summon, and that's just really big. Monster Reborn, as I said, just an extra summon, and then this searches your Arboria, because the most broken version of the combo includes Arboria and another Crusadia, or Arboria plus Skipper. So that's why you want to play as many Arborias as possible. So yeah, that's the full main deck. So the extra deck's actually quite tight, so I'll actually discuss some of the other options that you can play in the extra deck. So you play 1 Magius. I'd love to play multiple of these, but yeah, I don't really think there's space. So 1 Spatha and 1 Equimax. This is your main start play where you use any Crusadia or the Formud Skipper to go into this, and then you can special summon another one. It searches you. This is your like climb in a sense. So if you're going second, this is your one to literally like OTK them. Like this card's just insane. There are actual ways that you can play around Dark Ruler no more with this, because it targets a face-up card and negates it. So if they have like if you have like a way to respond with like a spell or trap, so let's say you got Impermanence, and they Dark Ruler no more, but they have monsters on the field or something, you can like literally use this to negate the Dark Ruler no more, as long as Impermanence is activated before. So this doesn't actually respond directly to the Dark Ruler no more. Then you play Link 1, so Linguriboh, sorry, is actually important to a combo. It negates traps, so it actually comes up. Parallel Exceed becomes level 4, so it's level 8 originally, but you get to, well, it becomes level 4, it's mandatory, so you can make this with it and it comes up in one of the combos. It's also a really good card in general because it negates traps. I was actually playing Linguriboh, but then Jake mentioned that this card is way better because you can, if your Formud Skipper gets negated or something, you make Linguriboh and then you have a zone, but you can instead make this instead, summon the monster underneath, and then you can get rid of this by its own effect to then make Magius, which is something I didn't think of. So yeah, I think that's just really broken. And then for the like main combo plays, you have like the Saryuja, the Taotie Dragon, and you'll see why in the combo video why this is like so busted. It's like crucial to one of the combos. It's also really convenient as well. It's like 3 zones pointing down. You've got this generic dragon that's linked to, and it has like convenient zones as well. And it's a light dragon. You have Elpy and Pisty, so these are like your main Guardragon plays. I don't think there's much to say about this. I guess you'll see more of it in the combo video. And then, unfortunately, we play 1 Needle Fiber. This can be replaced, but we have to play it for now. I absolutely hate that. We play 1 Union Carrier, 1 Phoenix, 1 Cerberus, and 1 Transcode Talker to make that the full extra deck. Like, this is where, well, this isn't a flexible card. Like, this is part of the mandatory ones, but like these 3 are more of a flexible. These things are like basically personal preference. Like, I think this card's just nuts at the moment. These 2, I was actually playing Unicorn instead of Cerberus, but it was mentioned to me that like this thing is actually just really good to just clear out boards without like using too much link material. I guess so you can go to Phoenix first and Unicorn, but I guess they both, well, all 3 of them do like really good stuff. In terms of cards that you can replace and that have really cool interaction with the deck, you've got like Link Spider. So if you get Nibiru, you can turn the token into this, and if you have like the right cards in your hand, this can just turn the token into a link zone, and then you can just carry on playing and maybe like end on like some form of defense to survive your turn, or if you're going second, like you can end on some form of way to like make Equimax and kill your opponent. I think another good card at the moment is Baguska. I think it's really good against, is Adamant, right? Yeah, it's just with Parallel Exceed, you can just make this for free. The same way with Dweller, like they're both really good rank 4s, and like the whole idea of Parallel Exceed can just make you free rank 4 just to extend your plays. Like, I think it's just really good. And as I was mentioning before, like the Unicorn is also an option that you can play instead of like Cerberus or something. But in terms of other interesting cards, well, Appaloosa is just a generic like negate, and you can make that if you with the whole Guardragon play, if you can get rid of the Guardragon stuff, you can just make a free Appaloosa for extra negates. But I think the most ridiculous card that I would love to find more utility for is Reprodocus, because I think, as mentioned before, with the Archnemesis stuff, these cards rely on having an attribute on board, and if you're not familiar with the Reprodocus' effect, it can basically, the thing that it points to, you can just change it to whatever attribute or type. So if you have like this, for example, like you have this one underneath, you can make this into whatever type you want to declare with this, or if it's the other way around, you can make this to whatever attribute you want to declare with this. So you're actually able to pick and choose, yeah. And it's a link too, so you can climb up with it afterwards. I think this is more relevant for this one because it's normally easy to get the attributes on the board for this, whereas with this one you don't really play like rock monsters, for example. So this one's probably better for this. I think this is why I don't really play it yet. I don't really find a justification for it, because like it's only for this one. I think this one is the worst one in this deck compared to this one. This one's just like way better because the way the combos work. But yeah, that's the discussion for like what other extra cards you can play. I think generally speaking, you can change your deck based on if you're going first or second. So like you wouldn't be playing Accescode if you basically going second, like this is really good, even though I'm playing in the going first version. So like there's still a lot of flexibility that you can have in the deck with the extra. The extra deck's really tight. Like I wish there was 20 in the extra deck.
We're still experimenting, so
yeah, I do actually like the going second version of this, but the Gameciel play is just really strong. But if people respond well to this profile, like this is meant to be a secret profile, I didn't want to actually show the combos or anything until after Needle Fiber got banned, because I feel like it can actually do something in the format for like at least one event, at least, maybe, if it's piloted well. If this receives enough, well, both Jamie's combo video of this and this profile receives enough interest, then we might upload the going second version of this deck, which I think I personally prefer, but I think I'm a bit in love with Gameciel at the moment. So yeah, that was the deck profile. If you jump over to Jamie's channel, he should have the combo video there as well. So thank you to him. You may have heard me mentioned on his channel multiple times. We just jump in and out. It's a nice big circle that we have. So yeah, like, comment, and subscribe, and peace.